Have you ever heard someone talking about you in a foreign language? My Russian grandmother raised me after my parents died in a car crash. While other kids had normal childhoods, I spent mine translating for babushka, who refused to learn English. By 16, I was fluent in Russian, but hated every syllable. Then Natalia Petrova transferred to our high school. With her designer clothes and perfect blonde hair, she became Queen Bee overnight. Her father was supposedly some oil executive who bought her a Mercedes. I kept my Russian heritage hidden. American name, American clothes, American everything. Natalia never noticed me until chemistry class, when we were paired as lab partners. As she slid onto the stool beside me, she muttered in Russian, "Отлично, меня посадила с нищим." Great, I'm paired with a poor person. I pretended not to understand, but something inside me snapped when she accidentally spilled hydrochloric acid on my only pair of decent jeans. The teacher sent me to the nurse, and I heard Natalia laughing as I left. That afternoon, I was working at the local coffee shop when Natalia walked in with her entourage. As I made their orders, Natalia started talking about me in Russian. Посмотрите на этого неудачника. Наверное, живет в трейлере. Look at this loser. Probably lives in a trailer. Her friends giggled, not understanding but following her lead. She continued, describing how pathetic my life must be, how I'd probably end up pregnant before graduation. I said nothing, but that night, I formulated a plan. For the next month, I played dumb. In chemistry, I'd fumble equipment while Natalia berated me in Russian. At the coffee shop, she'd tear apart everyone in our school, including her so-called friends, in rapid-fire Russian. What she didn't know was that I was recording everything on my phone. I learned things no one was supposed to know. How she cheated on her boyfriend, how her perfect grades came from stealing test answers, how her dad wasn't really an oil executive, but had fled Russia after embezzling money, how she wasn't really rich, the Mercedes was leased, the designer clothes were knockoffs. The night of the winter formal, Natalia was nominated for Snow Queen. She wore a white designer gown. I wore a $30 dress and carried a small Bluetooth speaker in my purse. As Natalia took the stage to accept her crown, I connected my phone to the speaker and placed it next to the microphone. Then I hit play. Her voice, speaking Russian, filled the gymnasium. My dad's not really an executive. He stole money from his company in Russia. We're basically fugitives. The music stopped. Everyone froze. Another clip played. Americans are so stupid. They believe anything if you have the right clothes and accent. Then, I've been sleeping with Jake since October. His girlfriend is too fat to satisfy him anyway. Jake's girlfriend gasped from across the room. Clip after clip played. Natalia stood on stage, crown askew, face white with shock. When she spotted me by the speaker, realization dawned in her eyes. I walked toward the stage, finally speaking to her in perfect Russian. Никогда не знаешь, кто понимает твой язык. You never know who understands your language. Natalia fled the stage in tears. Her friends backed away from her like she was contagious. By Monday, Natalia's empire had crumbled. The cheerleaders cut her dead. Her boyfriend publicly dumped her. Even teachers looked at her differently. 2 weeks later, Natalia didn't come to school. Rumors spread that her family had moved in the middle of the night. The following week, 2 men in suits came to the school asking questions about the Petrov family. They weren't police. Their accents were Russian. I sometimes wonder if I went too far. My grandmother always said, "Yazyk moy, vrag moy." My tongue is my enemy. Natalia learned that lesson the hard way. Last month, I got a full scholarship to Georgetown. Turns out, being bilingual has its advantages. And sometimes, when I'm closing up the coffee shop late at night, I think I see a black car idling across the street. But when I look again, it's always gone.